my balls. Suck my balls.
How would you children like to suck on my chocolate salty balls?
Oh, you mean like a chocolate candy?
No, I mean my balls.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Suck my balls.
welcome back. That's right,
My
welcome
balls.
back
Suck
to
my balls.
another freaking edition of
Suck my balls.
SMB,
Suck my balls.
a South Park review,
Suck my balls.
where each and every week me and my bros like to break down all the South Park
Suck my balls.
information from the show
Suck my
for
balls.
you. We hope you continue to enjoy, support right here at Linktr.ee/SouthParkPod. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that share, follow, heart, like, plus whatever you use on your podcast catcher as well. I am not alone, ladies and gentlemen, making his return to the podcast after a number of months. He is the 2022 Red Rocks South Park Trivia Champion. Each and every week, ladies and gentlemen, we tell you that we do not have the set of balls to try and fill this man's role, but we try. But ladies and gentlemen, he is a trivia god. Joe Vernola. What up, Joe?
Not a whole hell of a lot. Still trying to recover. They think the doctor may have nicked my vocal cords, so, yeah.
Well, Dane thinks you should sue, but we probably shouldn't say that here on the airwaves.
I need to confirm everything first before I even imagine talking to a lawyer.
Gotcha. Well, you sound better. You are getting better. I mean, it sounds better than the last time we talked on the pod, so, at least there is some progress there.
Yeah.
That's positive. That's positive progress. Well, shout out also to our boy, Scoop. Hope he's doing well. He actually just told us his mom just came home from the hospital. So that's great news, and we hope to continue. She gets better and on the mend. Shout out to Scoop. That motherfucker sent me a message, though. He's like, oh, I can't come over. Gorge and I, we're making mac and cheese. And then he just sends me this ooey gooey picture of mac and cheese. And you broke a cardinal rule. You don't send an Italian picture of food and not invite him over. Very disappointed in you. Very disappointed. Every time I made food at my house, I always invited Joe, and I lived in Denver. I was like, hey, I'm going to make some food if you want to come over. All right, you don't want to come over. It's fine.
You should never send someone food porn unless they're going to get to sample it. This is why I hate check out my plate on social media.
Yeah, I can't eat your food. That's a great point, Joe. Well, that's a great freaking point. Well, also, shout out to man who likes to bring the pain of the digital marketing game. The guy who solicits those picks to get your clicks. Writer, producer, director, on-screen talent for Derby City Wrestling, and more. Dane Becker, hit him up. Go do something.net, I think is his website. Editing, production. Go ahead up, Dane Becker. He's the man. Well, Joe, we're back for another edition here, and I have to tell you a little secret. I see dead celebrities. Billy Mays here with just 2 steps. I could come over there and kick you right in the balls. Ladies and gentlemen, this is SMB, a South Park review, number 192, season 13, episode 8, Dead Celebrities. It is the 189th overall episode of South Park, and it aired on October the 7th, 2009. As I kind of alluded there to Joe, Ike is being tormented by paranormal forces. And, of course, then Kyle's going to have to bring in professional ghost hunters to try and help and save his little brother. It's funny. All right, so here's how the episode starts. Gerald, Sheila, banging it out in their resident bed, right? They're just getting it on.
Banging it, banging it,
Banging it, banging it, bang. Banging it.
Turn it up.
Jagging it, jagging it, jagging it, jagging it. Anyway,
Jagging it, yeah. Spaghetti, spaghetti.
they're smashing. That's what we're getting to. Is the crux of that song. However, they are interrupted by Ike, who tells them he is afraid of ghosts. Gerald commands Ike to go back to his room. Look, I don't want to put you on the spot here, so Joe, you don't have to answer this question. And I can honestly say As a 35-year-old male, it's never happened to me. I've never walked in on my parents having sexual relations, thankfully. Have I been in the house at a small age, and do I remember hearing it in the distance? Yes, and then I turned on the music. Joe, were you ever in a family type situation where you overheard older members of your family spanking it out?
Never my family.
Oh, okay.
But I had a roommate that there were 4 bedrooms upstairs and 1 downstairs, and my roommate lived in the downstairs room, and that's where the TV was and the Xbox and everything was. And
You heard them smashing it out.
Oh yeah, and like, to their credit, they tried to like use music to cover it up, but it was always Abbey Road. So like, they have ruined one of my favorite albums of all time, especially She's So Heavy.
That's funny. That's funny. You know what? You know your friend looked up like good music to have sex to, and that's the fucking record they landed on.
Oh no, Rod was born in the wrong decade totally. Like, he should have been in the 70s.
Well, that's interesting. I've never, like, it's only happened once, maybe. I was on tour, and the lead singer of a band was smashing it out with the person who was hosting us. Very nice house. Bro, all the rest of us as the band were all downstairs in the fucking band room laughing our fucking asses off because you could hear her, ha, 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 and then you could hear him, hoo, 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 and we just were fucking dying. It was a great band building moment there with the rest of your rhythm section. Well, there's your, ladies and gentlemen, if you've had incidences where you walked in or overheard a significant other, family, or friend, drop it in the comments below. Try to keep it PG-13. We don't need to know the nasty details. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our first clip.
Email the nasty details.
Email the nasty details at suckmyballspod@gmail.com. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and we'll jump into our first clip here. As I mentioned, as Ike walks in onto Gerald and Sheila spanking it out.
You have been very, very naughty. You're a naughty girl.
Oh, yes, Gerald. I've been so naughty. Oh, jeez.
What the? Ike! Ike, get back to bed right now.
I'm scared. There's a ghost.
Oh, not this again. Ike, we are sick of you talking about ghosts.
But Daddy, I saw the...
No buts. Get back to your room right now and don't come out.
So there you go. He gets sent back to his room because he's seeing too many ghosts. So and now finally, Ike goes back to his room. He starts to fall asleep and doze off for a while, only to wake up in a terrified state as Billy Mays appears out of nowhere. Now, for those unaware, Billy Mays, rest in peace, was one of the biggest infomercial hosts and salesmen of the late 90s and early 2000s. Mostly he got famous, I'd say, off OxyClean, right? That was kind of his big thing when he first started.
Yep, and then they just used that credibility for everything else.
He did everything from... And then what did he do? Was he the original Flex Grip guy too? So he was that guy too, yeah. Basically, anything that you were selling on TV, if you could get Billy Mays, you got Billy Mays.
There was the one that, there was another one that it was Billy Mays was the pitch man for it. And then, after he died, they got that British guy. Oh, yeah, Anthony Sullivan.
It was the Swifty thing or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. They call it the Mega Scrub Cleanser in this episode, obviously, because I don't want to, copyright. But he's, advertising this, and he screams and runs into the closet, that being Ike, as Billy Mays follows him. Ike runs down the hall where he encounters the ghosts of Farrah Fawcett and David Carradine, who is shown hanging himself in 2 different doors, which is dark. And then Billy Mays catches back up to Ike as he screams until Kyle comes out of his room and tries to comfort Ike as he screams for Billy Mays to stop. Before we show that clip, I do want to correct myself on something that I made a mistake last week on the podcast. I said that it would have been dark had Matt Stone and Trey Parker killed off the pirate kid who gives Ike and Butters a tongue lashing. I said it would have been dark. Through my own conclusion and reassessment, they did kill that kid. It was pretty fucking dark. So for them to show in the very next episode of David Carradine hanging himself, it's not as dark. We've been desensitized after we just saw about 20 to 30 Somalian pirates headshotted by the U.S. Navy SEALs in the previous episode of Fatbeard. Joe, anything to add to Billy Mays before we jump in here?
That year, like probably a couple weeks after this episode aired, or maybe a week or two, I did a Billy Mays costume, got a fake beard and everything. And if you remember, he had cocaine in his system when he passed. So like I walked around with a little 8-ball hanging out of the pocket of my jeans while walking around as Billy Mays. Billy Mays here for cocaine addiction.
Oh my gosh, did you get the same response as Satan gave the crocodile hunter at his Halloween party?
Yeah, even though it had been 4 months, some people, yo, bro, too soon.
Too soon.
The others were like, that is fucking amazing.
So the question is, this year, I have to imagine, with the success of the Netflix crime series movies, you're going to be picking a particular celebrity to be a You've already got the glasses. You can just pull back the hair a little. You got the same color. You can pull it off, Joe.
They wanted me to do Dahmer last year, and I said absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into the clip here as Ike is going to share with his brother Kyle after he sees Billy Mays wake him up after he has a nightmare.
Hi, Billy Mays here for Mega Scrub Cleanser. Are you tired of your kitchen counters getting those nasty stains? Don't just rub them, Mega Scrub them.
Billy Mays, no!
So he runs away there.
Ike!
There's Ike,
what?
Kyle.
Make Billy Mays go away! Make Billy Mays go away! Make him stop! Make him stop, Kyle!
Make him stop! Make him stop, Kyle! Oh my God. Okay, so now Ike goes to the psychiatrist's office. So if you haven't noticed here, ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of a bit of an Ike episode. We're going to get the boys mixed in here shortly. But Ike is now at the psychiatrist's office as Dr. Land tries to get Ike to open up to him. Ike tells him he sees dead celebrities walking around and talking to him. He then states that he sees Ed McMahon standing behind the doctor. Ike adds that he sees the dead celebrities all the time. Now, of course, this is a parody of Bruce Willis and M. Night Shyamalan, right? The Sixth Sense, where, of course, Haley Joel Osment, the child actor in that movie, says, I see dead people. And, of course, spoiler alert, okay, this movie fucking came out 20 plus years ago. Bruce Willis was dead, and Haley Joel Osment saw him, okay? So that's why he saw dead people. Oops! Too bad. Sorry.
The clues are there if you watch the movie too, because Bruce Willis's outfit never changes when he's talking to the kid and a bunch of other things.
And then, like, wasn't there like a prequel or the sequel, Unbreakable or something that was in the same?
No. That's Unbreakable, Split, and Mr. Glass.
Gotcha, but that includes that same universe or whatever.
Maybe.
All right, let's go ahead now. We'll jump into the clip now as Ike is in the psychiatrist's office, and he's going to explain to Dr. Land that he sees dead people, dead celebrities.
You mean you see dead celebrities on
There we go.
Family is very worried about you. Ike, you can talk to me. I'm a therapist. Whatever has been troubling you, it's okay.
No, it's a secret.
Ike, tell me your secret. I promise not to tell anyone else.
Can you hear the background?
I see dead.
That's funny.
Celebrities.
You mean you see dead celebrities on TV? In the news?
I see them walking around. They talk to me.
Are you seeing any dead celebrities right now?
Just Ed
How often do you see dead celebrities?
Ed McMahon walks away. That's funny. All right, so Ike admits to the therapist, the psychiatrist, that he sees dead celebrities. All right, here we go. Now we get the introduction of our lovable boys. Kyle now walks into Cartman's house where he sees them watching TV. He states that he's worried about Ike, to which Cartman laughs off until Kyle says Ike was seeing the ghost of Billy Mays, which at this point Cartman then perks up because he's a big Billy Mays fan, right? And Kyle doesn't know who Billy Mays is at first, so Cartman has to explain who he is. He rewinds to the television commercial and an ad for Chipotle-Away. It's the stupidest product, but it's a product made to allow people to remove blood stains from their underwear after eating Chipotle-Away. Cartman says he uses the product all the time, to which Kyle states that he does not understand why people would eat something that makes people crap blood. Now, I don't understand this reference. Like, was there like something going on? Was there like a food allergy or something back when Chipotle started, Joe, that you were aware of, that people were crapping out their ass when the blood out their ass? No?
No, I
Okay.
always heard it with Taco Bell, but never
Yeah.
Chipotle.
So maybe that was just a joke then. It was just like, Chipotle is so good, but it makes you crap that it makes you feel like you're bleeding out your ass. Which, if anybody's ever had a bad case of diarrhea where you get like that liquid poop, ugh. So, let's jump here now into a clip of Kyle, Cartman, Keeney, and Stan, as they explain, as Cartman's going to explain what Chipotle-Away is, and who Billy Mays is.
Dude, you didn't tell us Ike was seeing Billy Mays. What? Your little brother saw the ghost of Billy Mays? Dude, I don't even know who that is. The guy on TV who had incredible things for people to buy? He died 4 months ago, but they still show his commercials all the time? Oh, for the love of Christ.
Oh, it was Stan who forgot. Sorry, not Kyle. So now Cartman here, he rewinds
Here, this is him.
on his
Hi,
TiVo.
Billy Mays here with another fantastic product. If you're like other Americans, you love to eat Chipotle, but you hate all those terrible bloodstains in your underwear. I love Chipotle, but getting all the bloodstains out of my underwear is a nightmare. Well, now there's a product that can clean even bloodstains caused by Chipotle right off your underwear. Chipotle-Away. Just one Chipotle burrito can leave up to a quarter cup of underwear blood. But Chipotle-Away makes your underwear clean and ready for more.
Basically bleach.
Stop buying new underwear every time you eat Chipotle. That can cost you thousands. Chipotle-Away gets rid of bloodstains and leaves underwear good as new.
And then Kyle, of course, asks the question.
Would you keep eating something that made you crap blood? Dude, have you had Chipotle? It's really good.
It's so fucking true.
Dude, Chipotle
Dude.
is good, but here's my only problem with Chipotle. And this is a common thread every time I get Chipotle. A lot of the time, it feels like they'll make it fresh in front of you, right? The tortilla, it'll be warm to hot. The meat will be hot, but everything else will be like cold. So when you're biting into it, it's almost like you're getting a cold burrito. And what I'd like them to do is keep all the other stuff. And I get it, you can't keep like lettuce, tomatoes, and onions at room temperature. But if you could keep like the other stuff, like just at like, a mild temperature, not hot, but just warm. So that way I get like a warm bite of burrito. Like I don't want a cold burrito. What I end up most of the time getting is tacos, because you can't really fuck the tacos up. But the burritos and the burrito bowls are pretty good. It's and of course Kyle asked the question of, if something makes you crap, why do you continue to eat it? So next thing up here is they get Kyle and Cartman and all them, I guess, get the idea that they should go on the show Ghost Hunters. So there's a Ghost Hunters episode that's airing about Ike, and they're in the conference room discussing Ike's investigation when they all freak out thinking there's a ghost present in the room. They go crazy while driving to the Broflovski's residence, mistaking a cigarette lighter for something suspicious. They get to the house. Things start to get out of control with everything they see. One of the guys starts to piss his pants. What's that? What's that right there? Kyle and the boys watch in shock as another person pisses their pants. They keep freaking out and piss everywhere, and then they crap their pants, and then they finally run out of the house in horror. And of course, this is making light of the fact that a lot of these ghost hunter shows are pretty fake and stupid, and they're just dramatized for ratings. The only one that I'd say might be legitimate, and I can't remember the name of it now, but it had something to do with like something island or something like that. And it was like investigating stuff from like hundreds of years ago. It wasn't like investigating ghost shit, but it was like investigating coincidences and all these other things, weird shit. You know what I mean? But no one was ever like, oh my God, there's a ghost. I can feel him right now. I can feel his presence right here. I am so startled. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll jump in now to the ghost hunters.
Ghost here. All right, so you say a little boy is seeing the ghosts?
Yeah, apparently only he is seeing them.
Shh. What is that? You hear that? There, look. What is that? What is that?
What is that?
I see it. What is it? Oh, God, I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
He's pissing himself.
Look, it's got you too.
He's
Are you
pissing
getting
himself.
this? Make sure the camera is getting this. Definitely some paranormal activity. It's warm and moist. A warm, moist sensation that's moving down my left thigh. Look, it's starting to form a pool around the floor now. Are you getting this?
Are you guys fucking serious?
Oh God, the paranormal activity is now leaving a trail of some kind behind both of us. Huh, something hot and warm is coming out the back of my pants now. Oh, it smells.
Ghost hunters. I just love how Stan, knowing that he's been on a reality show before. Are you fucking serious? Or wait, no, Dolphin and Will, that's next year. I'm sorry. He hasn't been on the reality show yet, but this is a prelude to that. Oh, man. Good stuff. Joe, anything to add before we move on?
No, just I remember the ghost hunting phenomena
On the Sci-Fi Channel, on the Science Channel, and all that bullshit.
Yeah, and just it's so dead on.
It is too, and what's interesting. I mean, as this of course came out in 2009, so of course I think we're still in the WWECW era where it was airing on the Sci-Fi Channel. So this was definitely Ghost Hunters and Alone in the Dark type of house or whatever. Those were huge fads. You're right. Like especially like because it'd be like or even when SmackDown was on Sci-Fi, but like SmackDown would be on, and then like one of these Ghost Hunter shows would either come on before or after. And Courtney Cox was like the host of one of them or something like that too. I remember back in the day. Right. Yeah, pretty stupid.
ECW and SmackDown are the reason I got into the BSG remake.
Okay. I was. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Sorry.
I can't remember the name of who played Starbuck now, but yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, Ike sighs now and goes over to the steps upset. As far as the ghost hunting is concerned, Kyle tries to comfort him, telling that he has nothing to fear, but Billy Madison appears next to them holding a pan advertising the Big City Slider Station. Ike screams in fear at this. So it's at this point that they take Ike to the hospital, the Children's Hospital of Denver. Ike's in an emergency room as all the boys sit down in the waiting room. Kyle, of course, still does not understand why people would eat Chipotle if it makes them crap blood. Stan says, I don't fucking understand. He's never crap blood while eating Chipotle. And, of course, Cartman tells him, well, I'm sorry, Stan. I always have a golden rectum of the gods. Some of us are first eat Chipotle-Away. Oh, man. If any South Park fan, a true South Park fan, diehards out there, I know you've probably used that line. But sorry, none of us will have a golden rectum of the gods. Like, that's such a clutch line. So Dr. Carroll comes in, not Dr. Carroll comes out, and he announces that Ike is stable, but that he's in a coma. Then Dr. Phillips comes out and tells the boys that Ike is in purgatory, where people go when they cannot accept that they have been passed. Dr. Phillips describes it as being on a plane waiting to take off at the gate with no ability to deplane or use bathrooms or receive beverage service. Which, wow, that is horrible.
Fucking worse.
That is horrible. Yeah, it really is. When you're stuck on a plane, they won't let you get up to. You're stuck on the fucking tarmac. You can't get out your fucking seat.
Yeah.
You can't get out your fucking seat to take a piss. And even if they fucking do come by with beverages, you don't know how long you're going to be in the fucking tarmac. So you're like, I'll take a beverage, but you got to kind of like lightly sip on it because you don't want to have to make yourself go to the bathroom.
Right.
So let's go here and we'll jump into this clip here of Dr. Phillips being introduced to the boys, and she's like the voodoo doctor or whatever you want to call her. I guess I'm just using.
No, I want to keep talking about public transportation.
So here's Ike.
I just don't understand it. It's gonna be all right, Kyle. But dude, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you know it's going to make you crap blood, why wouldn't you at least just try eating less of it? Because, dude, that's what I'm saying. You have the Chipotle-Away, so it doesn't matter. But of course it matters, because you should be concerned there's blood in your underwear. Do you understand this? Dude, I don't understand at all. I eat Chipotle all the time and it never made me crap blood. Oh, well, how nice for you, Stan. It's great you've got a golden rectum of the gods, but the rest of us need Chipotle-Away.
It's just such a stupid statement, though. Okay, here's
Golden rectum of the
golden
gods.
rectum of the god. Oh my god. Okay, so here's fast forwarding where the doctor introduces the witch doctor because he doesn't deal with in existential treatments.
Specializes in spooky.
Spooky things, he says.
The ghosts of these celebrities
These celebrities.
are deep unrest. Never sensed anything like it.
Don't
I
look
believe
into the
these celebrity
light.
ghosts are still roaming the world, reaching out through the child because they are lost in purgatory.
Purgatory.
Purgatory? What's that?
Sometimes when people die, they can't quite accept what
All right, we've already explained what purgatory is. We don't have to go through all that. We went down that rabbit hole, and if I didn't edit all the metro transportation talk, then you'll know exactly what the kind of conversation we just had. So Dr. Phillips, though, manages to contact the ghost, I guess kind of like a seance or whatever, that's haunting Ike. Billy Mage manages to answer and tries to advertise, only to be interrupted by "I'm Walter Cronkite" and various other celebrities who want to move on, which of course surprises Dr. Phillips. However, Patrick Swayze informs the doctor that their main cause of being trapped in purgatory is Michael Jackson and his refusal to acknowledge his death. The boys and Dr. Phillips try to help the celebrities convince Michael Jackson that he is dead, but he denies this, saying that he is not dead. Never, he's just ignorant.
Just ignorant.
Thunder strikes the machine. Everybody panics. Dr. Phillips flies out of the window and falls to her death. And then Ike wakes up with the voice of Michael Jackson, who has taken over Ike's body. This episode is so out there. It's so funny, though.
But he runs straight to a park as Michael Jackson.
I just thought
Like
about
that. Like that has to low key be like another
a dig. Okay, so here's what's
I've taken over a child. I'm going to a park.
There you go. That's good.
Oh wait, hold on. I went too far. Here we go. So here's Dr. Phillips about to fly out the window.
Super sweeper.
Shut up, Billy Mays! You're dead, Mr. Jackson.
No, that's just ignorant.
Accept it.
Everything starts shaking now.
It's in too much to know.
She dies. Pretty graphic death here.
God damn it.
Ike, wake up, buddy. Wake up.
Now, of course,
You gotta
Kyle,
wake up, please.
Stan, trying to wake up Ike. And Ike here then wakes up.
Good.
And when Ike wakes up, he's going to have
I thought I
the
lost
voice
you, little
of
brother.
Michael Jackson.
No, that's ignorant.
And then, as you mentioned, the very first thing he does, he runs to a park.
Including the late and very talented Billy Mays.
No, that's ignorant. People are just ignorant and they lie and spread rumors about me. Like that I'm dead. But if I was dead, how could I do this? Woo! Da to be done! Shimon!
Oh my gosh. Okay. So as you saw there, Dr. Phillips flight out the window, died. Ike is now being, or he's got Michael Jackson inside of his body. So the purgatory plane again is shown again. They go back to the seats. We see some blue seats and a white carpet floor with clouds. Celebrities complain about having to sit in purgatory as a flight attendant tells them they will be delayed for at least another 96 hours. The whole time while this is going on, Billy Mays is constantly advertising to them, and that's, of course, making the celebrities go crazy.
How is that just purgatory? How is that not at least the first or second circle of hell?
Well, in their case, it will be. Maybe that's their purgatory. Maybe there's different purgatories, right? Maybe there's a good purgatory and then there's a shitty purgatory.
Just like depending on your level of shittiness,
Yeah.
you're not bad enough for hell.
Well, like
But you need to do another 4 days of praying to get to heaven.
Well, what if we use two analogies, and we'll go by 2009 and then we'll say 2019, 10-year difference. If we go by the good place analogy, then in the good place show, you have to go through the good place or you have to go through a trial to get into heaven. So that would be their purgatory. And this person's purgatory, as we're going to find out, I don't want to spoil it because we'll get to it, is for the hell. But yes, I spoiled it. I'm sorry. It's for hell. So maybe that's it's level 1 of hell.
I'd fork the shirt off Kristen Bell.
I mean, you're already there.
Come on, this is ridiculous.
So yes, here's everybody.
How much longer do we have to sit in purgatory?
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your patience. I've been informed that we are going to be delayed at least another 96 hours.
All right, so of course, as I mentioned there,
You can't just keep people stuck like this.
they're gonna be delayed another 96 hours, and you might have heard my hee there in the background.
Shimon.
Back at the Marsh residence now, Stan is looking up how to get rid of Michael Jackson's ghost as Michael Jackson plays with the toy set in the background. Kyle, of course, still, meanwhile, does not understand the whole Chipotle madness. Stan finds that to make the ghost move on, they must let it be what it really wanted to be. They're like, what does it want to be? And Kyle's like, I don't know, wants to be a white, young little girl. So they all dress up Ike as a female and enroll her at, I guess, the talent pageant show, and it's at the Holiday Inn. So that's what we'll jump to. But before we get there, let's show what happens back in Stan's room when they're discussing more Chipotle-Away.
Was I alarmed? Yes. I believe I was.
So then why do you just ignore it using something as stupid as Chipotle-Away?
Chipotle-Away, Kyle. And I'm not the one who uses it. My mom does. She does the laundry.
She does the laundry.
Your mom uses Chipotle-Away to clean bloodstains out of your underwear.
Yes.
And then takes you to Chipotle and buys you more.
Yes, Kyle. It's totally normal. People do this stuff. You know? Not everyone can be the boy with the golden butthole. Here it is.
People do this.
Everyone can be the boy with the...
Butthole. People do this stuff. I just don't. I'd love to meet somebody who eats something and goes, yeah, I love Olive Garden, but man, it just makes me shit my asshole so much that I bleed. So it's called Olive-Away. It just helps remove all the bloodstains from Olive Garden.
See, when my Crohn's was really bad, I would I know this is going to be a terrible night for me, but fuck it, I'm going to eat this. I wish there were some kind of more powerful bleach or OxyClean to eliminate some of those.
Okay, well, Joe's making the case then. We really need some Chipotle-Away here, people. So if you've got a product that can do this, maybe there are other Cartmans and Joes out there that need this product. You never know. Maybe we need your Chipotle-Away. All right, so moving back forward now.
Work on it, science.
Work.
Fuck cancer. Don't worry about that for, as long as it takes to make sure my underwear stays pristine and new.
Okay, and if you're gonna make that too, you better go ahead and make the the product from the movie Envy with Jack Black and Ben Stiller. Where does the poop go? Make the thing, the aerosol that makes poop just disappear. I want to make that.
Yeah.
It's a classic movie.
I'm here for that too.
One of Jack Black's classics. Where does the poop go? Where does the poop go? Where does the poop go? All right, let's jump back into the episode here as we find Michael Jackson is now at the Hilton, and we're also going to be exposed to some disgusting judges who are obsessed with little girls.
Screaming, playing with her cat Sunshine.
Don't forget to blow a kiss to the judges, Brandy.
Here it is. Judge rubs his penis.
And now welcome contestant number 27, Little Miss Michael Jackson.
All right, Michael.
Yeah, work it. Michael says she just enjoys being a child. She loves to play and climb trees and thinks people who don't are ignorant.
Ignorant.
Hi, Billy Mays.
All right, back on the
Little
purgatory.
Country Handy Pillow.
This is funny.
Are you tired of sitting in limbo? Lost somewhere between planes of existence? Well, now there's a product that can help you.
Somebody shut his fucking mouth. I can't take it anymore.
This is bad enough without having to constantly listen to you try and sell your stupid crap, Maze. With just 2 easy steps, I can climb over these seats and kick you right in the fucking balls.
With just 2 steps.
With just 2 easy steps, I can climb over these seats and kick you right in the fucking balls. This is a really good episode, comedic-wise. A lot of good liners. A lot of good one-liners. All right, so as you saw and heard there, we got Michael Jackson still in the contest. We got everybody in purgatory. The last last three scenes here are the talent show and purgatory. So we jump back and now into purgatory. I'm sorry, back into the talent show again with a continuation here of the talent show. Stan's going to try and convince the judges that, they should vote for his girl or, Michael Jackson, Ike. There's a person in the background who's like, no, you should vote for my kid.
Little Kylie.
Just look at this face.
Mommy, that hurts my cheek implants.
Now they're doing the talent show contest here, and this is where little Ike Jackson is going to sing, and
All right, thank you, Miss
see all the
Jazzy.
judges here being disgusting and
Now for the
lewd,
talent portion, Miss Michael
Taking
Jackson is
pictures
going to
and-
sing for us.
rubbing themselves sexually.
Just a
Little girl.
dainty little thing. And I know you all want to be a little white girl like me. Shamona.
Takes off his shirt here,
Oh,
and the judges are then jacking off and touching themselves. Yeah.
Dude, the 2 male judges love her. Look.
But then right as he says that,
Oh, yeah.
somehow they probably...
It somehow just has the shirt just blowing in the wind.
I just like how these cops, somebody had to have reported them like, dude, these judges are like rubbing themselves, because all of a sudden the cops just come in.
That's about enough.
Aw, crap. Hey, what the F?
What the fuck? Yeah, so it was called the Lynchburg Tiny Miss Pageant. That's what it was called. So is Lynchburg a real city in Colorado? Interesting.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Or Lightburg? Maybe it's the name of the company or something. Could be that as well. So as you saw there, the cops pulled out all the judges. So now all there is left is the female judge. So it comes to a conclusion. The boys are worried that the female judge is not going to pick Ike. And then Cartman sees, this all comes together. Cartman sees the female judge eating Chipotle. So he looks at Kyle and goes, maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't know. So he goes up to the judge and says, do you like Chipotle? She says, yes. He says, she explains that she'd love to eat it all the time, but she can't. And then Cartman's like, because your underwear's bloody. And then he tells her about, he says, maybe we can help each other. And there's like this, we're going to go to the clip, but there's like this montage back and forth of a serious moment. And it's just fucking Chipotle-Away. Like he's about to fucking change her life. She's about to have her moment. It's great. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't know.
There's no way that lady judge is voting for us. She was glaring the entire time.
You'll win for sure, Heidi. You know how much that judge adores you.
Aw, dude, this is hopeless. Wait, look at the lady judge. She's eating Chipotle. So what? So maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't know, Kyle. Excuse me, ma'am. I see you're eating Chipotle.
Oh, yes. It's my favorite fast food. I would eat it every day. Except
Except you can't afford buying all the new underwear?
How did you know? Look, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna have to give it up.
What if you didn't have to give it up?
Excuse me?
I think you and I might be able to help each other here today.
Here we go. Just a slow pan. That slow pan of seriousness got me. You heard me there, probably in the background of the recording, because I think I just caught up to that point in the episode as well when I was watching it live, and I laughed. It's just so ridiculous. All right, so now because of the fact that Cartman helped her, we go to the conclusion where she does pick Ike as the winner. And at that moment, Michael Jackson is at peace, and he leaves Ike's little body. Ike, of course, comes to, what the fuck is going on, Kyle? What did you get me into? What is going on here? Then Michael Jackson returns to purgatory. They take off, and we find out that they're all heading to hell. But unfortunately, hell has a tow gate, so they're going to be in line a little bit longer, and everybody goes, "Ah, God!" What do you have to add, Joe?
And that is how hell is worse than whatever that purgatory was.
That's true. You're right. Having to sit there on the tarmac and not get out of the plane. Now you finally have arrived at your destination. You still can't leave.
I'm free.
Michael Jackson leaving the body. Ike now coming to.
Holy what the am I wearing?
What the fuck am I wearing?
Ike, you're back! Kyle, what the is going on?
It's okay, Ike. You're going to be okay. Yes, thanks to us and Chipotle-Away, the spirits of the celebrities can now rest.
Thanks to him, that's in Chipotle-Away. Now here's them in purgatory.
I'm free. I'm free.
Hey, he's here! He's here!
All right, everyone. It looks like we are all ready to move on.
Did you all see my crown?
And now they arrive.
Finally, we can all move on.
And now they've arrived at hell.
All right, everyone. I'd like to be the first to welcome you to the gates of hell. Unfortunately, hell is a towing gate.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the episode ends. We'll be right back on the other side with some trivia, pop culture, and some continuity storyline references. Wrap up this episode with our final thoughts. We'll be right back. Subscribe to Suck My Balls, a South Park review on Spotify, Apple's, iTunes, anywhere you want to download a podcast. Just type that in, subscribe to our feed. You'll get the latest, greatest episode each and every week. You can also listen to us on YouTube and go back and watch some videos or any of our library. It's all there. Suck My Balls, South Park review. Welcome back on the other side. Once again, shout out to our sponsors provided by Spreaker. Go ahead and hit that like, share, follow, heart button, whatever podcast catcher you're using. I would say, though, I encourage you to download and use the Spreaker app. If you download and use the Spreaker app and listen to our podcast in the app, we actually make more money off the revenue. So if you could go ahead and download that app and just check out our podcast, and I bet you're probably going to find that 50-60% of the people you listen to podcasts wise are probably using Spreaker. They got a good payout system for their advertisers. I mean, literally, you could have no listeners and start a podcast, and as long as you get 10 downloads, they'll insert the ads on, and you can make make $1 or whatever it is. So, just download the Spreaker app, and then that way, if you listen to the podcast, then we'll make more money, and that'd be pretty cool. You can also, of course, hit that like and subscribe button if you're watching it right here on YouTube as well. We're getting close to getting monetized. We appreciate it if you just hit that subscribe, drop your comment on what your favorite moment in this episode was. But ladies and gentlemen, this man is the 2022 Red Rocks Day 1 South Park Trivia Champion, as he's pointing to there. He is the winner of the Bose QVC headphones with Stan Marsh. He is the 2022 Red Rocks Day 1 Trivia Champion. He is a trivia god. Joe, recount us with some trivia.
According to this episode, Stan has a stronger digestive system than Cartman, or as Eric put it, a golden rectum of the gods.
Golden rectum of the gods.
While waiting at the Denver Hospital for Children, Kenny is seen reading Coco magazine. No idea what the fuck that is.
Yeah, me either.
Cartman said that they still show Billy Mays commercials. Mays' commercials continue to air after his death, including 2 new commercials he filmed shortly before his death. I think that was the reason he was on the plane and everything.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
It was just shortly there.
Yeah. His commercials, as well as his Discovery Channel TV show Pitchmen, were eventually taken over by his friend and co-worker, the British dude Anthony Sullivan. Billy Mays' son, Billy Mays III, has said that he is a huge fan of South Park and was proud of the portrayal of his father in the episode, finding it tasteful and funny. That's because they didn't grab the low-hanging fruit like I did. Cocaine addiction. This is the only season 13 episode in which Butters does not appear.
But that's okay, because we'll get a Butters episode.
They make up for it
right away. Well, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Mr. Dane Becker. Here's some references to pop culture. Jason Hawes and Grant Wilson from the Atlantic Paranormal Society, TAPS, are featured in Ghost Hunters, are called in to investigate. Both have stated that they actually loved the parody of this show, of this episode. Cartman makes several references to Chipotle Mexican Grill, which, if you're not from America, it's an American fast food restaurant specializing in Mexican cuisine. So think of like them taking Taco Bell but making it fresh, and it's like Taco Bell had sex with the Subway, and that's essentially what Chipotle is. Most of the products Billy Mays pitches are fictional, with the exception of the Big City Slider Station and the Mighty Mended. When Ike tells his therapist that he sees dead celebrities, as we mentioned, that was, of course, a paraphrase from the famous quote, "I see dead people," from M. Night Shyamalan's The Sixth Sense. This episode parodies the film Little Miss Sunshine and the show Toddlers and Tiaras with the children's pageant. And the psychic from the hospital is a reference to actress Zeta Rubinstein, who acted as the eccentric psychic Tangina Barons in the 1982 supernatural film Poltergeist. This role was previously referenced in With Apologies to Jesse Jackson. Although she is...
Say, don't look into the light.
Kid it. Although she is introduced as Dr. Phillips, her badge actually reads Dr. Tangina, referencing her character from the film. We talked about Dr. Phillips' description of purgatory. This also, of course, is a striking resemblance to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the secondary phase, copied in the second book, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, which is a really good book. When one of the lead characters comes across a seemingly abandoned spaceport on a practically dead planet with one functioning aircraft that kept its passengers in a stasis. It's robots flight attendants waking them up once a year to feed them, or waking them up once a year to feed them, despite their restraints, and then put them back to sleep while they wait indefinitely for their supply of lemon-soaked paper napkins. Again, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, great book, but The Restaurant at the End of the Universe is actually a lot better book, the second one. The song that Michael Jackson sings during the pageant, Just a Little Girl, is a parody of his song, You Are Not Alone. You are not alone. Some of the celebrity ghosts that we see that are waiting on the plane that are apparently heading to hell, according to South Park creators, are Adam Michael Goldstein, a.k.a. DJ Am, Arturo Gotti, who was a boxer, Bea Arthur, who was an actress, Billy Mays, we talked about, David Carradine, he was an actor, Dom DeLuise was an actor in Celebrity Chef, Ed McMahon, of course, TV game show and host, Farrah Fawcett was an actress, Henry Gibson, actor and comedian, John Hughes, director, Les Paul, rest in peace, I don't think he went to jail, he was just playing music, Marilyn Chambers, pornographic actress, Michael Jackson, we already know, Natasha Richardson, an actress, Oscar G. Mayer Jr., businessman, of course, Oscar Mayer Wiener, if you get it, if you didn't pick up there. Patrick Swayze, an actor. Richard Montalban was an actor. Ron Silver, an actor, ex-NFL player, rest in peace, who was killed by his wife while he's fucking sleeping. Steve McNair. God, that
was Arturo Gotti, by the way.
I know, but Steve McNair hurts more because I'm a Titans fan. Ted Kennedy, U.S. Senator, and rest in peace, one of the greatest TV anchorman and journalists ever to grace the airwaves. Of course, has a school here, division here at Arizona State University, Walter Cronkite. God, rest in peace, Steve McNair. That one still hurts. Joe, do you want to read a little continuity? You up for that?
Yeah.
All right.
Dr. Carroll from Tonsil Trouble, is seen again. This time he works at the Children's Hospital of Denver wearing a brown wig. A fictional version of Michael Jackson, renamed Mr. Jefferson, appears in the Jeffersons. Despite them knowing his real identity, the boys don't seem to recognize him. Stan seems to partially recognize the voice, but can't place it.
That's a good point.
The scene where Billy Mays talks and the boys tell him to shut up references a scene in which the boys say the same thing to Butters in Good Times with Weapons.
Shut up, Butters.
And one of the beauty pageant contestants resembles Estella from the episode Pip, which we all know is the worst fucking episode ever.
And there's a reason why we didn't recognize her, because we fucking hate that episode. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's your references to pop culture trivia continuity. Joe, I know you're getting toward the end of the podcast. We want to make sure your voice stays stable, but what did you like about this episode?
Fuck, dude, it's such a banger. It just so many one-liners, like you said, the Michael Jackson takeover, just so much good shit.
There's a lot of good one-liners from Cartman in here. The argument back and forth between Cartman and Kyle about why you need to use Chipotle-Away was funny. Billy Mays, his portrayal is funny. With just two steps, I can step right over and kick you right in the balls. So, you know, the golden rectum. The Chipotle-Away commercial was funny.
Just 2 easy steps, I could kick you in the ball.
Yeah, great stuff. Michael Jackson, the parody of him wanting to be a little girl, and then you pointing out was such a good point out of him running to the park immediately to play. Oh, this was a really good episode.
Straight to the park. Yeah, it's top 15 for me at least.
I would say this is definitely a top 50 for me. Probably my first top 50 of the season from season 13. Really good episode, really good funny stuff. Well, that besides, like, you know, I guess I'd also have to put the Coon. I'd have to put the Coon in there as well. That's probably my top 50. But this is definitely my second favorite episode of this season. We'll probably get to my favorite one next episode, because next episode we'll talk.
I was gonna say
we'll talk about it here in the outro. But ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for another edition of SMB. South Park Review. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, as I mentioned, right here on YouTube. Linktr.ee/SouthParkPod. Follow us on all social media outlets at SouthParkPod, or with an S on the X. Also, shout out to Scoop, S to the C, the double OP. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And of course, the man who likes to bring the pain in the digital marketing game. The man who solicits those picks to get your clicks. He's a writer, producer, director, and on-screen talent for Derby City Wrestling. Go ahead and check out GoDoSomething.net. You can hire him to do stuff. He'll do stuff for you if you're in the Derby City area. Dane Becker. Hit him up. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is the 2022 Red Rock South Park Trivia Champion of Trivia. God, Battleground Pro Wrestling, Slave to the Deathmatch 14, coming up with 2 exciting nights, Joe.
Actually, that one is a Primos show.
Primos, right? Yeah. Well, I was just, listing off all your stuff. Sorry.
Yeah. So, oh no, you're good. Slave to the Deathmatch 14. You can get both days on the Fight app. If you are not going to be in the area, if you're going to be in Denver, we have a few GA tickets left. Like, when I say a few, I mean like a you're probably gonna have to get that shit on light. September 23rd, I will be back down in Colorado Springs for CSW, and that is it for the rest of September.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say that I am so proud of myself for the last 2 months that I kept saying Slave to the Deathmatch 14 on Fight TV. I kept correctly saying Fight TV because if you came back on here and it wasn't on Fight TV, I was going to feel like an asshole. So, ladies and gentlemen, 2 nights, Slave to the Deathmatch. Get your tickets now. There's only a couple left, like you mentioned. Order it on Fight.tv if you're not in the Colorado market. Ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for another edition of SMB, a South Park review. Coming up next week, it is by far probably the best episode this season, Butters Bottom Bitch. Find out what happens when Butters decides to become a fucking pimp and make some motherfucking money. If you know what I'm saying. Do you know what I'm saying, Joe?
Yes, and for that, I get a sunshine sticker.
We'll see you next week on another edition of SMB, South Park Review.
No.